Roblox Grow Garden has dozens of fruits, and there's so many legendary fruits inside of the game that are worth insane amounts of money when you sell them. However, these fruits could be even better if you grow every single mutation in the game on them, which I did. Watch until the end of this video to see some of your favorite legendary fruits inside of Roblox Grow Garden, get every single mutation on them, and see the value of what they are at the very end of the video. Now, I do have lucky bamboo seeds here, and I also do have some bone boo, as you can see here. I'm going to spawn in a triceratops as this guy helps our plants grow. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is wait for the triceratops cooldown to be really low. And once it starts getting lower, I'm going to go ahead and plant all of my sprinklers down and then plant a bunch of bamboo seeds. That way we can see if this guy will actually take effect and hit bamboo. All right, so my mooncats are about to do their thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some bamboo seeds down really quick. Just plant a ton of them, like right in the spot, just to see if any of our mooncats will hit. We're going to go ahead and put the master sprinkler down, godly sprinkler, advanced sprinkler, and a basic sprinkler. Our mooncats here are sleeping. The triceratops is... Are you kidding me, dude? He's stuck. He literally just gave up. Okay, well, all right, here we go. We got a pretty big bamboo here. This should be our one that we're going to go with. Let's go ahead and move it over to the sprinklers. And I guess I'll go ahead and get rid of these other pieces here. All right, yeah, this one looks pretty good. So I think we're good. The triceratops didn't really help because these things grow so fast. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these cats. Let's go ahead and add some mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get this thing to turn rainbow. So I'm gonna spray it with chocolate. Okay, so we sprayed it with chocolate. A tranquil event just spawned in. So we have tranquil now. That's 2 mutations. I'm gonna save these sprays. We'll do pollinated. We'll do shocked, and then we'll also do a honey sprinkler for honey glaze. There we go. That's 5 mutations added onto our bamboo, and now we're gonna get this thing rainbow. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is spawn in one of our queen bees here and spawn in a butterfly. Since the queen bee's cooldown is about 6-7 minutes shorter than the butterflies, the queen bee will cool down the butterfly faster, and then the butterfly will take all 5 of these mutations, convert it to rainbow. I'm also going to spawn in a queen bee on my main account, and then we're going to spawn in our kitsune, so that way we can get the chakra mutation to be applied to our bamboo. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do actually is I'm going to plant a couple carrots down. So that way one of these should get tranquil on it. And once we get a tranquil carrot, that way we can keep that. And then we can use our T-Rex or our Spinosaurus to actually eat it and then move that over to our bamboo. The only reason I'm doing that is because in the next hour, we're going to have a corrupt event. And we're going to have to wait like another 2 hours for another tranquil event since these swap every 3 hours or so. So we're going to make sure we get a carrot set with tranquil on it, so then it'll be easier to move that over to our bamboo once we have rainbow on it, because once we have rainbow, that tranquil is going to be gone, and we do need 5 mutations to get rainbow. All right, the magic is going to happen now. Our queen bee's cooldown is about done, and she will now cool down our butterfly since our butterfly has the longest cooldown. All right, there we go. Butterfly's cooldown will be ready now, and now the butterfly will take these mutations and convert it to rainbow. And there we go. Now our bamboo is officially rainbow. So we go ahead and favorite that so we don't pick it up. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up our butterfly and our queen bee. Our Spinosaurus in just a minute should come over here and eat these mutations off the carrot and then move them to the bamboo. Hopefully we'll just focus on tranquil so we can move it to our rainbow bamboo here. And then we're going to go ahead and apply pollinated back onto this guy. And we do have a wet spray, so I'm going to apply this. Even though our kappas would normally apply it, I'm going to apply it to our bamboo to hopefully speed up the process to get this thing bloodlit, because the kappas convert wet into bloodlit. So we're going to go ahead and just apply that. Oh, and here comes our kitsune. It should hopefully target... Okay, good. It's targeting the bamboo. I thought it might target the carrot for a second, but there we go. Our bamboo is now chakra as well, and we have wet, which we're going to try to convert that wet to bloodlit. We're going to add shocked onto this. We're going to add chocolate onto that. We're going to add a honey sprinkler back down here so we can get that back to honey glazed, and that gives us 7 mutations currently. Then our main account is going to add the cloud touch spray, so I'm going to go ahead and spray from back over there. And then I'm also going to actually add the verdant spray onto this today, just because that way we don't have to use our scarlets at all. That will save some time. We're now up to 9 mutations already. And with that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in some of our other pets to start doing some stuff for us here. So we're going to spawn in 2 disco bees to get that disco mutation applied. We'll spawn in 2 cooked owls to get cooked or burnt applied. Actually, you know what? We're going to take one of these cooked owls for now, and then we're going to spawn in 1 chicken zombie, but we have some other pets we want to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a pterodactyl. So this guy will either give us windstruck or he'll give us windstruck and twisted. Hopefully he gives us windstruck and twisted so we can get tempestuous and we don't have to wait for a tornado to show up. So we're going to spawn him in. We're going to go ahead and spawn in 2 kappas so we can try to get this wet to convert to bloodlet. And that is max pet slots for now. So we should be good. All right, so I just got back. Let me just take a quick look at what happened when I was gone. The only thing that's really happened is our pterodactyl applied windstruck onto our bamboo, but we did not get tempestuous. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl for the moment. I think what I'm gonna do next is I will spawn in a Raju here, and this guy can give us the shock mutation, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this carrot seed down like right here, and then I'm going to apply the shocked spray to it. So that way this Raiju will take the shocked carrot, eat it, and then it will turn it into static and then apply static to our bamboo. Okay, our cooked owl just applied burnt to the carrot. So I guess we'll see if our Spinosaurus converts that over to our bamboo as well. So now we have burnt and tranquil over there. But otherwise, we'll just leave our cooked owl out for now to hopefully increase our chances of getting burnt put onto our bamboo. Disco be applied disco to carrot. So this carrot is literally getting more mutations over here basically than our bamboo. All right, our Raiju here should go ahead and eat this shocked carrot over here and then apply it to our bamboo. I'm gonna go ahead and move this closer just so it's easier for him. All right, there we go. Carrot is getting yoinked. And now we have static applied to this carrot, but also to our bamboo here. So now we have static on the bamboo, which is another mutation down. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our Raiju here, and I'm gonna replace him with a corrupted kitsune. That way we can get corrupted chakra or corrupted foxfire chakra applied to our bamboo. And then we can also get our chakra that's on it converted to harmonized chakra. All right, I'm actually gonna go ahead and swap up the strat here a little bit to save some time in the long run. So I know I said I'm gonna keep my disco bees around and this cooked owl to just try and apply burnt in disco to my bamboo. But again, since we already got it on this carrot, we might as well just stack up on our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes. So that way they can eat all of these mutations and just move them over to our bamboo. We have 2 Spinosauruses, and if we get 2 T-Rexes, then that means within 20 minutes, we can move 4 of these over. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these disco bees and just get them out of the way and this cooked owl. And then we're gonna spawn in 2 T-Rexes here. So that way our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes will work together to eat from this fruit and apply these mutations to our favorited fruit here, the bamboo. And then with that extra pet slot we have, we're gonna just spawn in another chicken zombie to try and speed up the process to getting zombified. Oh, what the heck? It's tranquility again? There's tranquility 2 times in a row already, so I thought we were going to get corrupt for sure. And which means that this is guaranteed now to get tranquil. All right, our T-Rexes are both about to be done with their cooldowns. Hopefully they just eat burnt and disco so we can get that moved over to our bamboo. Otherwise we have to wait for the next round of our Spinosauruses to eat those. These will at least knock out 2 of them. So let's see which ones they eat from the carrot. Please be the 2 that we need. Okay. Looks like they ate burnt, and then they try to eat static or something, but for some reason static is still on it. But they did eat burnt, so burnt is good and out of the way. So yeah, I guess we still have to wait for our Spinosauruses to eat the rest of them. But yeah, we just need at least disco. Okay, perfect. Our chicken zombie just applied zombified to our bamboo, which is another mutation done and out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the chicken zombies here, get those guys out of the way, and then we could get all these Spinosauruses and T-Rexes out of the way once they eat disco. But since we have 2 extra slots here, what I'm going to try to go ahead and do is spawn in that pterodactyl again. So that way we can try to get this guy to apply tempestuous to our carrot so we don't need to wait for tornadoes. And then these guys can move tempestuous over to the bamboo. So we'll try and do that. We'll see if he is successful with that. And then since the Kappa always takes forever to apply bloodlet and it's usually hit or miss, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 1 Tanuki. Now this guy has a chance to actually freeze over our bamboo and then turn the bamboo to frozen, which would then ruin our chance to get bloodlet from the Kappa turning wet to bloodlet. But at this rate, I'm just going to say let the best man win, either the Tanuki or the Kappa, to get this thing to frozen or bloodlet. The Tanuki will also help us get moonlit as well applied to our bamboo. Okay, our Spinosaurus ate the disco from our carrot and applied it to the bamboo. So now we have disco on our bamboo and we're good to go with that one. So we're going to wait for the pterodactyl to see if it actually applies twisted. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this carrot. I'm going to plant another one. So I'm going to plant this one here. We'll see if the pterodactyl is able to apply windstruck and twisted onto this, and then we'll let these guys convert that over in just a little bit. And then I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in my other kappa again to try and get this thing bloodlit. We will spawn in our other tanuki to try to get this thing moonlit. And then just in case we don't get a corrupted event, I guess I'll spawn in my corrupted scarlet macaw so we can try to get corrupted added to this bamboo as well. Oh, and wow, actually the tanuki was really quick today and just got us moonlit done. So we can actually get rid of these guys. So thank you, tanuki, for that. All right, our pterodactyl just striked, and it looks like it did get one of our carrots tempestuous. So we can go ahead and pick up these carrots, and then we'll move this tempestuous carrot over here. But actually, I'm going to move it like over here. So our Spinosaurus just kind of hover the middle. And once they are ready with their cooldowns, they're going to go ahead and eat that mutation off the carrot, and then move it over to our bamboo. So our bamboo will be tempestuous. We don't need to wait for a tornado. All right, so we have a bunch of pets that are about to be done with their cooldowns here. So our Scarlet, well, is probably going to try to apply Verdant to this carrot. Let's see. Oh, actually, he was trying to apply Corrupt, but he failed. Okay, and then our Spinosauruses are about done with their cooldown, so they should move this Tempestuous over to our Bamboo. And we also have our Corrupted Kitsune that will hopefully this time apply Corrupted Chakra to our Bamboo. So he's coming back over here. Let's see. Hopefully his 20% chance works right now. Please. Okay, well, he put it onto this carrot again. I'm just going to let these Spinosauruses move that over. All right, so Spinosaurus number 1 ate Tempestuous, and now that is added to our Bamboo. And Spinosaurus number 2 should go ahead and eat that Corrupt Chakra. All right, there we go. And then that's applied, and that gives us Tempestuous onto our Bamboo and also Harmonized Chakra. So those are some more mutations done. So I'm going to go ahead now and pick up these T-Rexes and Spinosauruses. I kind of went all out and put them all back down just so we wouldn't miss any mutations. But we don't need them now. We don't need this Corrupted Kitsune anymore. We pretty much only need these Kappas to still try and convert Wet to Bloodlet. So we'll see if they even do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in, I guess, that Corrupted Scarlet back in, just in case we don't get a Corrupted event, to try and apply Corrupted to our Bamboo. Okay, well, I guess I missed it, but at some point, our Corrupted Scarlet here actually applied the Corrupt mutation onto our Bamboo. We did not get a Corrupt event, we just got another Tranquil event, so I guess just a second ago, he applied Corrupt, so that is good and out of the way. We're still waiting for these Kappas to see if they'll convert Wet over to Bloodlet. However, we do have a Frost event going on right now, which possibly can turn Wet into Frozen. But at this rate, if it does, I mean, GG. Like, these guys have been here for like 2 or 3 hours now, just making their weird noises, and they have not yet converted Wet to Bloodlet. All right, so the Kappas after like 3 hours have not gotten us Bloodlit, so I don't know if they can give you Bloodlit if you already have Moonlit on your plant, or if the chances are just very low. So let me know in the comments if you guys know if they won't give you Bloodlit if you already have Moonlit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use these polar bears to try and get that Wet to convert to Frozen. Let's see if any of them actually succeed at this. Okay, one of them succeeded, so now that Wet is turned into Frozen. And really the only mutations we would need left, Sandy, which would be Ceramic. We're missing Aurora, Celestial, and then I want to turn Verdant into Paradisal. So I guess that's like 4 legit mutations left, but I don't think we're gonna have any luck getting a Celestial event anytime soon, so we can count that out of the picture. Auroras are very rare as well, so I think we can count that one out as well. I have a really hard time getting Sandy, so the last one really just be trying to get this thing to Paradisal, but we do have Verdant already applied to it. So to be honest, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just check the value of this thing with Steven, and I know if we had Paradisal, the amount would be a little bit higher, but it should be pretty close because we do have a total of 17 mutations on our Bamboo. And if you spread out stuff like Tempestuous, we would have 18. If you spread out Harmonized Chakra, we would have 19. And overall, we do have a lot of good mutations here. So I think I am going to go ahead and just try and check the value of this and see how much we would get for this Bamboo with 17 mutations. So I'm going to go ahead and just unfavorite it. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up. and I will keep that favorited in my inventory. But yeah, let's check with Steven how much this giant piece of bamboo with 17 mutations on it is worth. Without further ado, let's go ahead and ask Steven what the value of our bamboo is. 987 million, almost 1 billion, which I was actually hoping we would get in the billions. But I think if we just waited and we got a heatwave event and turned that verdant into paradisal, this thing would have easily hit the 1 billion mark. Plus, if we got the other legit mutations on it, like celestial, aurora, and ceramic, this thing would have definitely passed the 1 billion mark, but I don't know if it would have hit 2 billion. I know it would have just at least been past 1 billion by a little bit, which is pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place down our sprinklers. We're gonna start like right here. So I'm going to do a master sprinkler. We'll do advanced, basic, and godly, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place our bone blossom down, our first bone blossom we've ever had. Let's go ahead and get those moon cats ready as well, so we can get this thing hopefully gigantic. All right, that's all 8 moon cats, and now our bone blossom should start growing any second. Now, someone actually mentioned this in the comments, and shout out to this person who told me this, but we have a mimic octopus, and actually if we use this, it should 100% use a pet's ability for us, which would be really good to get some of those pet mutations. I thought the mimic octopus only mimicked a random pet in the game, so it could be anything, but it only mimics whatever pets you have. So this will definitely come in handy to get certain pet mutations done faster on our bone blossom today. All right, well, this thing is only at 1% so far, so we're gonna water it to get this thing to grow. Oh yeah, there we go. That's much faster. So let's get this thing up to 100. Let's watch it grow, and hopefully we can get some pretty big bone blossoms on it and get something valuable. I know they buffed this, so the bone blossom is actually worth a lot more now than the candy blossom because people were complaining about it not being that good. However, they did nerf, I believe, the size of the fruits, so the bone blossoms themselves can't be as big as they used to be able to be, but the price is better overall. All right, anyways, our bone blossom tree is grown, so now we just gotta wait for some bone blossoms, like the fruits, to grow in. I don't know how long they take to grow, and hopefully our moon cats will help them grow in faster. The other thing I really want to do is I want to buy friendship pots. Now, I guess they're only 39 Robux. I could buy 1 for now. I don't know how many you really need, but this could give us the friend-bound mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just link this with my main account, and hopefully it just helps, maybe give us friendbound. I don't know how what's the luck, what we need for this to really work out, but there we go. We got our friend pot down. All right, and we have a pretty big bone blossom growing in right here. I don't know the sizes of these because again, they nerfed the sizing of the bone blossom fruits. I guess we'll wait and see what other ones start to grow in so we can compare, and then we can make our choice on which one we want to go with. All right, so we actually have a pretty big bone blossom growing in right here. I thought this one was big, but this one is pretty massive. And then we got some smaller ones growing in, but this one I think will be the one we're going to go with to get every mutation on. So I'm gonna have my main account over here grow all so we can get all these fruits to spawn in. And also we do have a windy event, so that could be a free mutation to help us get rainbow, but I guess we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and purchase this and see what happens. I think I just got scammed. I had my main account hit grow all, but it didn't do anything. I guess I'll try it again. Okay, now it worked. Well, I just lost like 300 Robux, but okay, anyways, there we go. We have our bone blossom grown in here. We have a couple of them actually, but we have this very big one that we're going to go with. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite this one real quick, just so we don't touch it. And I'm gonna collect the other ones that are on the tree. And there we go. Now we have our big, beautiful bone blossom. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do with this is I am going to trowel it, and we're gonna spin it so it faces the middle so all of our pets can take effect to it. All right, and then what we're gonna go ahead and do is unfavorite this, and we'll go ahead and pick up all these moon cats. They did a pretty good job giving us a nice gigantic bone blossom, and we're gonna go ahead and apply our sprays here. So we got some pollinated chocolate. We're gonna save our chilled, but we will put amber on it for today, and we'll do shocked, and then we'll do a honey sprinkler, and that will be our 5 mutations. There we go. Our 5 mutations to get this thing rainbow. So let's go ahead and spawn in a queen bee, and then we'll spawn in our butterfly. The queen bee will save us nearly 10 minutes for the butterfly to give us the rainbow mutation. So once this queen bee cools down, butterfly will give us rainbow, and then we can get started with actually getting mutations on this. You guys probably know the drill by now with these videos. All right, it's time for the magic to happen. The queen bee is ready to cool down our butterfly so we can get our bone blossom rainbow. Let's see it happen. Go do your thing, butterfly. Get this thing to rainbow. All right, and just like that, our bone blossom is now rainbow, so we are good. And wow, it actually looks pretty cool rainbow. All right, so now's the fun part. We get to add all of our sprays. So we're gonna add pollinated back to it, shocked back to it. We got amber, we got chilled, we got chocolate, and then we also have a honey sprinkler we can use here. And then on my main account, I actually have a few cloud touched sprays left. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with cloud touched, and our main account is good to leave now. And there we go. We are up to 8 mutations on our bone blossom. So now we got to get all of our pets set up to get these pet mutations done, and also wait around for some events. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees, and those disco bees will help us get disco. We're going to use 2 cooked owls so we can hopefully get cooked or burnt. We're going to spawn in 1 sea turtle to get wet on this, so it'll turn from chilled to frozen. We're going to spawn in a scarlet to hopefully get verdant, and then we're also going to spawn in 2 chicken zombies. Now, hopefully once the sea turtle applies wet and we get this thing to frozen, we can then swap the sea turtle out for a mimic octopus, and the mimic octopus should 100% give us a mutation from one of our other pets. Now, the only problem is we do have other bone blossoms growing, so the mimic octopus might 100%, but it might give us those mutations on one of these other bone blossoms that we don't want. All right, so for now, we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what the sea turtle does. Hopefully, it'll be quick and easy, and we can get wet on this bone blossom so it can be frozen, and then we can get that mimic octopus spawned in. All right, so while our sea turtle is failing, we do have a windy event. I don't know if we're going to be able to get windstruck right away. Every time I try to get windstruck, it always takes a few of these events to go by, but I am going to go ahead and stack some sprinklers to hopefully help. Let's see what happens. I don't know if we're going to get lucky. We never seem to get windstruck. It always takes like 3 windy events for us to get it. I don't know why it's like that every single time. All right, well, the windy event just ended, and we did not get windstruck. This is like an ongoing theme with me. We always need like 2 or 3 windy events to get it. I don't know if that's a common thing or if I'm just very unlucky. All right, well, our cooked owls are almost ready. Our disco bees are almost ready, and our sea turtle is almost ready again. So we'll see if we get any of these mutations applied. Hopefully, we can at least get one of them. And oh my gosh, there's a bigger bone blossom growing in than the one we have. All right, well, here's the deal. This bone blossom right here is nearly double the size of the one we've already put all this on and did all this work to. But because it's going to be about double the value at that rate, I think it's worth it to pick up the one we've already made progress on and restart. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is skip ahead, and you guys will see this new bone blossom with all of these current mutations we have. We'll be back once this is caught up to where the other one was. All right, our big guy here is back in business, back to where we were. We have our 8 mutations applied back to our bone blossom, and we are ready to go. So now we can officially get this started again. So now we just gotta wait for these pet mutations to happen like we were doing, and hopefully we get some cool other events. And then hopefully these friendship pots actually start doing something as well. All right, there we go. Our sea turtle finally applied wet to our bone blossom, and we do have rain going on. So just in case, I did put some sprinklers down to see if that would help. We did not get rain to turn this into frozen, but our sea turtle finally applied wet. So this is now frozen. So we can go ahead and pick up our sea turtle. And now we're gonna use our mimic octopus because this should give us a 100% chance. And also that cooked owl just failed. This guy should give us 100% chance of one of our other pets to apply one of their mutations to this bone blossom. Okay, I missed it by a second on the recording because I thought both of my chicken zombies failed, but actually one of them did just apply the zombified mutation to our bone blossom, which means we finally got one of these pet mutations done, so we can go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies. And I guess what we'll go ahead and do is place another cooked owl down since we're having some tough times getting the cooked owl to give us burnt or cooked. And we're also going to go ahead and place a queen bee down to help with some cooldowns. All right, let's see if we get disco or if we get verdant done and out of the way. Come on, disco bee, let's do it. Get it. Failed, and it also was targeting the wrong one. All right, our other disco bee failed. That doesn't really give me any hope at all. But the scarlet might get us verdant. Failed. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna go cry now. Okay, well, in the middle of my tears, we just got a sandstorm, so I'm gonna quickly place some sprinklers down to hopefully up our mutation chances. All right, please, please, please give us Sandy. I'd love to have Sandy. If we can get Sandy, we could start working on trying to get this thing ceramic. I've been told that sprinklers are supposed to help with upping mutation chances for events and weather, but now it just feels like it doesn't. It feels like nothing changed. All right, well, if we don't get Sandy, maybe our mimic octopus will come in clutch and get us one of these guys. And that was it. That was it. Nothing happened. This is so sad. I just want mutation. All right, mimic octopus is doing something. What is he gonna mimic? Where did he even go? Hello? Mimic octopus copied queen bee's ability. This is exactly what I feared it would do. Why did you do this? Why? I don't want pollinated. I want one of these guys to be mimicked, not the queen bee. All right, well, our pets continue to fail. We're having horrible luck today. I thought it might be a better day because I joined the game with Bloodlet and Celestial, but now I'm going to be leaving the game with tears and less mutations than I thought I would be. No, my gosh. You gotta be kidding me, dude. I just picked the bone blossom up. I picked it up. Bro, I did not mean to do that. I don't even know what to say. Well, I don't even know why I just did that. Dude, my hand was on the D key and my keyboard's so sensitive. I slipped forward up one key and I accidentally just collected the bone blossom, and we didn't even have verdant on it or disco or cooked or burnt. I think we only had 9 mutations on it in total, which was like nothing. And I've already spent like 3 hours recording this. Okay, well, I believe this thing had, what, 9 to 10 mutations on it, which is a lot more than some people would get on it. But unfortunately, I really wanted to get at least up to 15 or 16. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Steven, and I guess we'll check the value of it now. So how much is this worth? Even after I messed up, this is still worth 317 billion for this giant bone blossom with only 9 mutations on it. This thing definitely, without any admin mutations, probably would have passed 1 trillion. All right, so the closest thing I could do to make this right is actually use this website here, which is a grow a garden calculator, where you can put in any plant that you want and also select any mutation that you want and put your weight of your plant in. That way I can try and show you guys what the value would be. So right now we were about here with 9 mutations on our bone blossom, which was about 317 billion, as you guys saw in the video. Now, if we actually waited around and got all of the possible legit mutations that we can get, which don't include the admin ones, we probably would have gotten moonlit or bloodlit. I guess since the start of the game we had bloodlit, we could have gotten that, so I'm gonna go ahead and select bloodlit. Now, we could have had sandy, but if we actually waited around long enough, we could have gotten sandy all the way up to ceramic, so we're gonna go ahead and select that on here. And then if we got twisted and windstruck from those 2 events combining, we would have got this one, the tempestuous. We also could have gotten friend bound if we had enough friend pots to do so. We could have gotten paradisal added onto this. We almost had our disco bees ready, so we would have gotten disco, and we also would have gotten burnt on this from our cooked owls. And if we actually were able to get a drought event, we could have also gotten wilt proof on this, and an aurora event. If that was also possible and we got one of those to spawn in, we would have gotten that. Oh, and we could have also gotten celestial, which we actually had a celestial event going on at the beginning. So now that this has all of the mutations that we had on it, plus all of the possible legit mutations that you could get, which would have brought our total from 317 billion all the way to 1.4 trillion. Now, if we did have Brighter to help us with this video like we have in the past with the other videos, then the bone blossom could have maxed out around 3 trillion shekels, which is a lot better than the candy blossom, because the candy blossom with every admin mutation on it was only at like 900 bill. I'm gonna go ahead and start off this, of course, with our moon cats here. Let's spawn in all 8 of these moon cats like we normally do. All right, we're good there. Let's go ahead and also get our sprinklers set up. We got our master sprinkler here. We got godly, advanced, and basic. And let's go ahead and put our elder strawberry down. All right, I brought my main account over here and I put this berry blusher sprinkler down. Dude, this thing is only at 1% grown. This is actually gonna take forever. All right, so our elder strawberry plant is now grown in. I went ahead and just skipped the growth process with some Robux here so we can start getting a fruit to grow in. All right, I'm gonna try to hit the grow all button again and just see if we get any big strawberries. Okay, we got a pretty decent sized elder strawberry right here. It's not as big as I was thinking it would be. And we got this one as well, but this one over here looks a little bit bigger. I think we could definitely get bigger. This is only 15 kilograms. I feel like this should be able to be a bigger size. So yeah, 3 of them, it looks like, grow in at a time on each 3 of these branches. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just, we're gonna put some more sprinklers down here, let our moon cats do their thing. I'm also going to get another berry sprinkler put down on it. All right, We have another berry blusher sprinkler put down. I'm gonna see if this will help us get a bigger one with all these mooncats as well, trying to attack it with their abilities. All right, so I'm glad we waited a little bit because, yeah, this was our biggest strawberry a second ago. And then after some waiting and leaving the game, we're looking at these guys now that are so big and they're in the ground. I can't tell which one is the biggest one out of all of these. It's really difficult to tell. Okay, I think the gold one is bigger because looking at the stem, like the little green areas down here, the very bottom, this one goes across about 6 studs and this one looks like it is about 8 studs. So I think the gold one is definitely bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the gold one favorited for a second. We're going to unfavorite this one and pick this one up. And yeah, I think the gold one's bigger. And also look at the stem on this thing, dude. It is so big and dug into the ground. I can't tell what's going on. It's so... we're not even going to be able to see the strawberry until we're done. All right, well, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and unfavorite this. We're going to go ahead and add all of our sprays to it. So let's add shocked. Let's add pollinated. Chocolate. We'll go ahead and add a cloud touch to it. And we need one more. The gold does not count towards rainbow. So we're going to go ahead and add a honey sprinkler down to get honey glazed. And now we should be good. Let me just run over here real quick. Yep, there we go. So now we have our 5 mutations that we can convert to rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up all of our mooncats here. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to get the cooldown reset for that. And then that will cool down a butterfly and convert this to rainbow because rainbow's a better multiplier than gold. All right, and then on our main account over here, we're going to spawn in a queen bee to also help with cooldowns for our Kitsune, so we can get chakra and hopefully foxfire chakra. And also we have a corrupted Kitsune as well, and then we can get this guy to give us corrupted chakra and corrupted foxfire chakra. So that should be a couple of more mutations added on from those guys once this turns rainbow, and we should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait the cooldowns out, and hopefully we'll get this done fast because the tranquil event or corrupt event should be happening in about 10 minutes, but we have to wait for our queen bee for about 18 minutes, so we might be cutting it close. All right, so it's about time for the fun stuff to happen. Our queen bee here is right about to cool down our butterfly so we can get our elder strawberry rainbow. All right, she's doing her thing. Now let's let our butterfly do her thing. All right, perfect. Butterfly is converting, and the butterfly just converted our elder strawberry to rainbow, so we're good there. So now we can go ahead and pick up these 2 pets here. We're done with that. We have our main account's Kitsune coming over to apply chakra. It'd be nice if we can get foxfire chakra, but let's see what it does. And we can actually see how big the strawberry is now when it steals it. Let's see. Okay, it's pretty big. He just got stuck in the ground for a second. Okay, that's a good size. You can see it down there. It's a pretty big strawberry. All right, so we have chakra on here. We're about to get corrupt chakra in just a second, but until then, let's go ahead and apply our sprays back. So we got shocked, we're gonna go ahead and apply. We got cloud touch, we're gonna put pollinated back on that, and then we're gonna go ahead and put down a honey sprinkler there so we can get honey glazed back. Oh, and I almost forgot, I gotta do chocolate. I had a feeling I was missing one. There we go. We're missing our normal chilled and our normal amber that we normally add onto this, but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently, okay? So today, we're going to go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, or 2 of them. So our kappa will apply the wet mutation, then I'll attempt to turn wet into bloodlet, and then once we have that, that'll be out of the way. So let's go ahead, and these kappas will probably be here for a while making these nasty sounds, because they got to get us wet, then bloodlet, and then we got to use them again to get frozen, and then probably again to get clay if we get sandy. We're going to go ahead and spawn in our corrupted scarlet and our tranquil scarlet, so we can try to get verdant done on this thing, so we can work on getting verdant and then paradisal, and also tranquil and corrupted. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 of our disco bees here. We're gonna spawn in, just for now, 1 chicken zombie and 1 cooked owl, just so we can try to get progress on both of those. I usually like to do 2 of each, but we have so many pets now that we gotta work with that I'm just gonna do 1 of each of those ones for now. All right, so actually the corrupted kitsune works differently, so I'm actually gonna give it to this account that I'm on right here. So the corrupted kitsune, I didn't realize that this was how it worked, actually has to be placed down in your garden. He has a 20% chance to apply the mutation corrupted chakra or foxfire corrupted chakra onto your plants, but it's only on your plants. It doesn't work like the regular kitsune where it comes over, steals, and applies it. It works by you actually have to place it down with your other pets for it to work. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 1 of these kappas for now. And that way we're going to place down this corrupted one so we can attempt to get corrupted chakra and corrupted foxfire chakra. There we go. Now we're set up though. We should be good to go for all these mutations. One of you guys hook us up, give us that disco mutation. Let me go ahead and delete this little strawberry up there as well. All right. Come on, target the big guy. Disco. Let's go. Disco applied. All right, well, these two guys are good. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the way. I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in another Kappa just so we can try to get Bloodlit done and out of the way. We're going to spawn in our Pterodactyl here to try to get Windstruck and Twisted to give us Tempestuous. This guy is a guaranteed Windstruck chance, but he's not guaranteed for Twisted. So we got to hope that he'll give us both. Otherwise, we still have to wait for a Tornado event. All right. There we go. All right, well, we only got Windstruck from our Pterodactyl, but I can't complain because we haven't gotten anything from any of our other pets, but Windstruck is out of the way. I wish we did get Twisted, but since we did not get Twisted with that, this guy is pretty much done. I can't use him anymore. I just remembered that if I get any mutations on other plants, that I actually have a T-Rex, and I forgot that I have 2 T-Rexes now, so I could just let these guys eat the mutations off of certain plants and then let them spread. So I'm going to stop deleting the other Elder Strawberries because I completely forgot that these guys are in my inventory. I'm not used to having them. So in the meantime, though, we're gonna keep waiting and hopefully we'll get some of these mutations done. All right, we have quite a lot of pets here that are about to finish their cooldowns, including our corrupted Kitsune. So let's see if we can get corrupted chakra on our big strawberry here, or at least on one of these. As long as we get it on one of them, we can use the T-Rex later to move everything over. Let's see. Okay, the big one did get corrupt chakra on it. Ah, okay, so this is new. So if you get corrupt chakra and regular chakra, you get harmonized chakra. So now we have harmonized chakra on here. So I wonder if that works the same for tranquil and corrupt, if that does anything as well. Okay, we got verdant on one of our elder strawberries, but our big one did not get it. However, again, we can go ahead and use the T-Rex, and later that will convert some of these mutations around, and then it should spread everything around evenly, so we'll have all the mutations that we don't have on this. I guess in the meantime, since we did get corrupt chakra done, we can go ahead and pick this guy up. And let's replace him with a T-Rex. So we just need him to eat verdant and then spread it to our big elder strawberry. And I think that's really the only one that this one has that our big one doesn't. All right, let's see. Bloodlit, please. Oh, Bloodlit to 1. Okay, so we got Bloodlit on this elder strawberry. We didn't get it on this one down here. But again, our T-Rex can help us out. Oh, and corruption has come to the garden. Okay, I guess we'll probably get corruption pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and trowel this back over here just in case any other events happen, like the celestial. All right, our big one is now corrupt as well. I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do then, since we have Bloodlit and this one down here is wet already, I'm going to go ahead and convert that wet to frozen by using a chilled spray for my main account. All right, so now this one is frozen instead of wet because we don't really need the Kappas anymore. So they should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these Kappas for now. Let's go ahead and also favorite this. We also don't really need the corrupted Scarlet anymore. We only need Tranquil. We already have Verdant on one of our plants, and our T-Rex will hopefully help spread that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the corrupted one since he's kind of bugged out anyways. And with this, I'm going to spawn in another cooked owl just to help get us burnt. I don't believe any of our other strawberries have burnt. No, they don't. So we'll try and keep getting burnt with these guys. We have 2 chicken zombies. And we still have this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Tanuki now to work on this guy to cause mischief and hopefully give us Moonlit on our big elder strawberry. And then I'm also going to spawn in our other T-Rex that we have so these guys can start spreading around mutations. Oh, we have a heat wave event. I got to hurry. Let's do tanning mirrors. We need tanning mirrors. All right, so that should give us sun-dried, and then we can work on getting Paradisal added over to our big elder strawberry. We actually might be able to use these T-Rexes to get sun-dried and stack it with Paradisal. We'll see. All right, our T-Rex is doing something. Let's see what he spreads. Ah, okay, perfect. He spread the Bloodlit mutation. That is the one we needed. Let's see if he did it to the right one. Bro, how did he spread it to 4 different strawberries, but we didn't get it on our main one? This doesn't make sense to me. All right, perfect. Cooked owl applied burnt directly to the correct elder strawberry. That's one less to worry about. That's added on. I'm going to go ahead and keep that favorited then. And then now I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls since they're out of the way. Let's spawn in another chicken zombie here. And then I'm also going to spawn in another Tanuki so we can work on trying to get Moonlit done. Okay, so I saw this new pet, the Raju, inside of the Zen shop that was added, but I actually didn't know that this guy will convert your shock mutation into static, or has a chance to. So I just gifted it to myself for my main account, and we need to use this guy to actually get the new static mutation. So let me go ahead and just check. He can convert anything that is shocked to static. I guess there's a lightning storm going on right now, but I'm going to go ahead and still spray one of these guys. I guess I'll spray this elder strawberry here. And then this guy can actually consume from fruits that aren't favorited. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is replace this with one of my chicken zombies that just finished their cooldowns. We'll put the Raju down, and then he will have a chance to devour fruit with shocked mutation, and then he will mutate 4 other fruits with static. All right, let's see. This guy's supposed to do his own little thunderstorm and give us static on everything. So let's see and hope that he actually does that for us. All right, looks like he's going in. He's running in there. He's eating. He's being fed. I had to pay him money, but we got static. Bro, I actually have to pay this man to spread my mutations. We got static added onto our Elder Strawberry. I can go ahead and pick you up now. And I guess we'll get that Tanuki back in then to hopefully get Moonlit done, bro. Wait. He ate the bloodlit fruit completely. Are you kidding me? I didn't know he's gonna actually consume the entire fruit. I thought he just consumed the mutation like the T-Rex does. I would have not put it on the bloodlit one if I knew that was the case. I guess if that's the case, then we're gonna replace this guy again with another Kappa to hopefully give us the bloodlet mutation back, and hopefully maybe this time on the correct plant. I actually did not know that the other guy was going to eat the entire fruit. He ate the fruit, he ran my pockets, and he took my bloodlet mutation away. All right, this is good. We have a sandstorm coming through, although I can't see it at the bottom of the screen. It's not showing, so hopefully this one isn't a bug sandstorm. I guess I'll try and travel this over here real quick and see if we can get Sandy in this corner. Usually this corner... Actually, no. This is the good corner right here. Let's see if this corner does it for us. See if we get Sandy mutation on anything. All right, we get it on anything. That's not Sandy. That doesn't look Sandy. What about our favorited one? No Sandy. All right, well, our luck for Sandstorm is still as bad as it always is. Okay, good things are starting to happen. We just had 2 of our Scarlets applied Verdant to our Elder Strawberries, and one of them was actually our big guy here. So we finally have Paradisal, and we also have a Twisted Tornado event going on. So we got to be quick and make sure we can move this thing over to the tornadoes and get Twisted on it so we can get Tempestuous. Dude, these tornadoes are actually spawning all down there, not near us over here. Come on. Oh, here we go. One's right here. Why are you turning? No, this way. Hey, go, no, go this way. Go behind you. Please, before the event ends, please. I think we're gonna miss this. We just... All right, since we haven't had luck with these T-Rexes spreading the correct mutations that we want, although the T-Rexes are very good because they'll take 1 mutation and spread it to all your fruits, I think we're gonna need to use something more like the Spinosaurus, because this guy will eat 3 mutations and spread it to 1 fruit, usually targeting your favorited fruits. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our T-Rexes and put down 2 of these Spinosauruses, and this should actually help us. Should help us get zombified, moved over to our big favorited Elder Strawberry. All right. So perfect timing. We just got the Zen Aura event, so now we can get Tranquil, which we just did on our big Elder Strawberry. Finally, we're still waiting for these guys to transfer the zombified over, and we're still waiting for these guys to give us Bloodlet again, but none of that is actually happening. But the other thing is we have another tornado event, so we can try to get our Twisted to turn into Tempestuous. Oh yes, like this. Perfect. All right, let's just keep it right here, please. Don't leave too fast. Oh, here's another one right here. Perfect. And he's leaving. Why are you leaving? Don't leave me. Oh, wait, this one likes me. He spawned right on top of that. Wait, but don't leave. Don't leave. Turn back around. Hold on. Don't leave. All right, here's another one. This one likes me. Stay. Stay put. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Okay, we got Tempestuous on this one. Did we get it on our big one? Let's see. No, we didn't get on the big one, but we did get it on one of them. So maybe these guys will be nice enough to move it over for me. Let me go ahead and move this back. What did he eat? Oh, finally, he ate Zombified. Finally, we got Zombified moved over. All right, now all you got to do is eat Tempestuous. That literally took so long. Okay, I literally just missed it on footage, but our Manukis, after like 4 hours since they've been spawned in, they finally applied Moonlit, and they applied it to the correct plant. So we have Moonlit now on our Elder Strawberry. That took a very long time. In total, though, this thing is looking good, and we have 18 mutations on it, and if we actually spread out Paradisal and Harmonized Chakra, we'd have about 20 mutations on it. All right, so all of our pets here have been hard at work moving over our mutations to our big guy here. And actually on this fruit right here, we only have gold, tempestuous, tranquil, and chakra on it. At this point, we have 2 T-Rexes and 2 Spinosauruses, and they will all eat at least 1 mutation and spread it. We do have this elder strawberry in the way though with corrupt and pollinated, just to make sure they don't eat this one and they only take from this one so we can get that tempestuous added over. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one up. So all of our guys will actually ignore gold here, and they won't eat the gold, so they should only target... Oh, and the first guy targeted tempestuous, so we're actually good. I was gonna say they should only target the 4 mutations: tempestuous, tranquil, chakra, and wet. This guy down here has a total of 17 mutations on it. Earlier I think I said 18, but there's actually 17, and then if you spread out harmonized chakra and paradisal, that would be 19 mutations total. And I guess if you spread out tempestuous, then that would be 21 mutations. I would wait around because we really only need Bloodlet, Celestial, and Aurora as our last 3 legit mutations. All the other ones would just be considered admin mutations. But I've been waiting around and doing this for like 6 hours, so I think we're at a good stopping point, and we have way more mutations now with this new update than we normally do. So let's go ahead and pick this guy up. And I can't even see the size of it, but it is definitely a lot bigger than our other ones, and it looks crazy with all of these mutations on it. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to talk to Steven here, check the value of our mutated elder strawberry, and see how much money this thing will make us. So Steven, what are we looking at today, buddy? Oh my gosh, dude, this thing is only worth 43 billion. That is insane. I thought this would have a way better value to it with all of these mutations added onto it. I think it would if the size was even bigger than this. I think our size for this thing wasn't as good as it could have been. For this thing being nearly 1,000 Robux and probably, I don't even know, 75 to 100 million in-game cash. For 43 billion return from sitting here for 6 hours and doing all the mutations, honestly, this is the first fruit that I felt like that was a very unfair value. And it could just be the fact that the multiplier for the size isn't that good because it's not that big of a strawberry, but I feel like this thing definitely needs a buff. And I think I've heard a couple of other people complain about the new fruits that they added with this update needing a buff. So I'm gonna go ahead and of course get my sprinklers ready, and hopefully we can get this thing looking pretty good without any of the admin help today. So let's go ahead and put all of our sprinklers down as we normally do here. And with those in, we're going to put the burning bud seed down and go ahead and spawn our mooncats in. All right, so our army of mooncats are ready, and now we just got to water and can this thing to make sure it grows to its full size, and hopefully we can get a pretty big bud on it. Oh, here it comes. All right, 81%. We're getting there. We're so close. All right. The burning bud is now grown in. Look at this thing. So it should sprout a big flower at the top, but we'll just have to wait for our mooncats to make some progress to start growing that flower at the top. All right, we have sign of life of our burning bud growing in. I don't know what the size is going to be, and I don't know what the biggest size is for these things. Let's go ahead and bring over our main account to purchase the grow all, and let's see what kind of bud we get at the top of this. All right, it's in. Oh my gosh. That is pretty big. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and let's pick up these mooncats right away and get our queen bee ready. And then we're also going to spawn in a butterfly. So that way the queen bee can cool the butterfly down so we get rainbow on this thing. You guys know the deal by now. We're going to get our spray mutation. So I'm going to put pollinated on this, shock, chocolate. Let's get honey glazed. And then my main account is going to apply the sprayed mutation. So that way we now have 5 mutations on this thing. So the butterfly can turn it into rainbow. And then we'll get all those mutations back on it and then start collecting all of the event mutations, which there are some new events in the game. There is now a sandstorm that can give you the sandy mutation. And apparently there's some secret new events or weathers in the game as well. But I don't know exactly what those are. I'm assuming they might just be the admin ones, like the meteoric and the volcano and black hole, and maybe they're actually just in the game now. I don't really know. But anyways, I'm gonna wait for this thing to get rainbow, and then we're gonna continue and get some mutations on it and get this thing looking expensive. Bro, help! The raccoon is bullying me. He just slammed my head with the burning bud. All right, so after that raccoon slammed me in the head with the burning bud, it's time for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly. So let's see that happen. All right, now the butterfly will apply rainbow to our burning bud. And while it does that, I'm going to get my spray mutations ready. There we go. We now have a rainbow burning bud. So we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and put pollinated back onto this thing. Chocolate. shocked. Let's get that honey sprinkler back onto it so we can get honey glazed again. And then the main account is going to apply chill to it, and it's going to apply the new amber mutation spray to it. And there we go. So now we have rainbow shocked, chocolate, amber, honey glazed, pollinated, and chilled. The amber makes a big frozen box, just like the frozen effect does. It looks like we have like dusty clouds above us now. And we didn't actually have the burnt spray. You can no longer get the burnt spray. There's no event shop for that anymore at the moment, but we have quite a bit of mutations, so we're gonna go ahead and stack up on our pets now. So we're gonna spawn in some disco bees to hopefully get the disco mutation. Of course, we got our chicken zombies as well. We're gonna spawn in a sea turtle in hopes to get this thing wet, so we'll turn frozen. We're also going to spawn in a hyacinth and a scarlet. And then finally, we will spawn in a cooked owl so we can hopefully get this thing burnt. So now we're maxed out on all 8 pets. And so once one of these pets gets a mutation done, we'll replace it with one of the other pets so they have more in their army. And eventually we should get all of the pet mutations applied to this burning bud. Oh, our scarlet just applied verdant to our burning bud, which means if we do get a heat wave, we can get this to paradisal, and then we can add sun-dried on there. But all right, we have verdant done, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace this scarlet with, I guess, another sea turtle, just so we can get this thing wet. Oh, and just like that, our sea turtle actually applied wet, so now this thing is frozen. And mixing with the amber, this thing is like spazzing out and hurting my eyes, but at least we have it frozen and amber now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up both sea turtles we have, and now we can focus on our other pets. So I guess I will add in another hyacinth to hopefully get this thing cloud touch, because I don't have the cloud touch spray. And we will add in another cooked owl to hopefully get this thing cooked or burnt. But overall, this is starting to take shape. Yo, the sandstorm is here. We have a chance to get sandy mutation. All right, get the sprinklers ready. I know it doesn't make sense, but sprinklers give us a higher chance for this. If we get sandy and somehow mix wet on it, which I don't know if we can get wet at this point since we already have it frozen. But if we were to get sandy and mix that with wet, we could get clay. And then if we mix clay with sun-dry, we can get ceramic, which is a pretty good boost in value. However, I don't know if we can get wet anymore, so at least we can just try to get sandy. And it's over. The sandstorm is over. We didn't get sandy. Oh, we have a windy event happening, so we can hopefully get windstruck. We're going to apply some more sprinklers to hopefully increase our chances for windstruck. And instantly, we just got windstruck. Oh, let's go. The disco bee applied disco to our burning bud. We finally got that one done. So we can go ahead and pick up our disco bees now. And I guess we'll increase the cooked owls and the chicken zombies by 1, just since those are a little bit more difficult to get their mutation since they're more rare. All right, our hyacinth finally just applied cloud touch to our burning bud, so that's another mutation down. We can go ahead and pick up these guys and add in another chicken zombie to the mix and another few cooked owls. And let's see. Oh, and our cooked owl just applied burnt to our burning bud as well. So now we also have a chance to get that to ceramic if we want to change that later. We're good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these cooked owls then, since we're good there. And we're going to leave our 5 chicken zombies that we have. Here's the other one. I was missing one. Okay. And now we have 5 chicken zombies. We're going to go ahead and put down a couple of these peacocks, so that way they can give these chicken zombies a little bit faster cooldowns. I would use the queen bees, but the problem with the queen bees is that usually one queen bee will cool down, and then it will cool down the other queen bee, and then you don't really get any progress to your chicken zombies. We're going to use the peacocks instead to just kind of give a little bit of a faster cooldown every couple minutes. And with 3 of them, that should give a 3-minute shorter cooldown for these chicken zombies. So that'll be a little bit of a different play for it right now. And I am going to go get some Chipotle and AFK for like 40 minutes, and hopefully something happens. All right, so I just got back home. Let's see if we got any mutations. You guys would know, but I don't know at the moment. Did we get anything new? All right, let's check. No. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these peacocks, and I am just going to try the queen bees, and hopefully they don't cool each other down. Okay, so I was sitting here eating my Chipotle, and then all of a sudden I got zombified from one of my zombies. So our burning bud officially contains every pet mutation now, so we can go ahead and pick all these guys up so they stop making sounds in our ears. And we are now officially up to 13 mutations on the burning bud, which is pretty good. Okay, so we just got a night event to happen so we could possibly get moonlit on this thing. And to increase our chances, I actually did just get a night staff because the traveling merchant just showed up. Oh, I guess we don't need to use it actually because we just got it naturally. I guess moonlit is pretty easy to get. All right, so we have another sandstorm coming through, so hopefully this time we can actually get the sandy mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some sprinklers on this, at least the sprinklers that will increase our chances for mutations here. All right, and now we just wait and hope that this thing becomes sandy. All right, we're gonna wait just a second and see if we can get anything. It's already looking pretty good, but I just want a few more and it's over. That was a quick one and no sandy. All right, so I was AFK for a second and I just clipped it, but it looks like we got a heat wave to form, which gave us paradisal, and it doesn't look like we got sun-dried back though. So we only got paradisal, but usually we get sun-dried, so I guess it just didn't get hit twice. So that's another event down, but I wish we could have gotten sun-dried to stack on it. After about 2.5 to 3 hours, which is normally how long I record these videos with all of the events that Brighter will queue up for us and the other ones, we've managed to get 14 mutations on this thing. I really wish we could have got the new sandy mutation and then got that over to ceramic or something and also get drenched and stuff. Oh wait, of course, right when we're ending, there's a sun god event happening, but this won't really help us in any way because this is not a sunflower. With no help today, 14 mutations is pretty good, and the burning bud is pretty big, so I'm assuming this will be worth a lot of money. So we're gonna go ahead and collect this, and here it is. It's actually very laggy when I pull it out. So without that, I have 160 FPS. When I pull this thing out, it drops down to 40. Let's like line up like right here so we can see what Steven's gonna give us. And let's go ahead and check the value of this thing. So how much is this giant burning bud worth, Steven? Okay, 13 billion is actually pretty good. Considering we didn't really have that many mutations on it that we normally get in all the admin mutations, 13 bill is a pretty good number, especially since this is a probably normal amount of mutations as any normal player would get. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. Let's go ahead and get our sprinklers ready, just like we always do. We got the master sprinkler, the advanced, basic, and godly, and then we're gonna go ahead and place this down inside of all those. We're gonna spawn in our moon cat so we can hopefully get a pretty big ember lily, and there we go. So our ember lily's only at 0%. Oh, it's at 1% now. It's speeding up. So I am gonna use some watering cans for this to try and help and get this thing growing fast. Let me know in the comments down below what you think the value of this thing will be once we get every single mutation on it. And then if you want, you could edit your comment at the end of the video and see if you are close. All right, our ember lily is growing. It's actually growing a lot faster than I thought it would, so that's good for us. The other thing is too, we have windy going on right now, which would be perfect if this thing was already grown and already had rainbow on it. All right, there we go. Our ember lily is grown. Now the plant itself is looking pretty small, but we could still get a pretty big flower at the top, and I hope we do. I really hope we do. All right, so we're just gonna give it a little bit to grow, and we'll see what kind of ember lily we get. We'll see what the size of it is. We have all these moon cats, and a bunch of them just napped right next to it, plus all the sprinklers. I think we're gonna have a good-sized ember lily, and it's growing. I think that's a pretty good size. We'll see if it expands anymore. Oh, it's growing upwards. Okay, so that might be our size then. That might be it. Actually, you know what? This one doesn't look that big. I am gonna go ahead and delete it, and then let's see if we can get a bigger one. I really want this to be a big ember lily. All right, so I'm gonna see if this one grows into be a decent size. It might be still pretty small, but it does look like this one's gold again. I wish gold would actually matter for this. I wish it would count as one of the 5 mutations that we need to get rainbow, but since it doesn't, we do have all of our sprays in line, and we will be using those in just a second. This might be as big as it's going to get because our mooncats be struggling today. All right, this thing has progressed pretty nicely. It looks a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, so I think we got a pretty good-sized ember lily. Now, to save some time, I'm bringing out the big guns, and we're going to be hitting the grow all button. Sometimes we got to use bow bucks to get some good end results, and if you want to help support these videos so I can spend more bow bucks, you can always check out the Bandites merch. You could buy it in my Roblox group. The links are in the description, and you can look as handsome as I do. All right, but I'm bringing the main account me over here to grow all so we can get that ember lily looking nice, okay? And there we go. Our Ember Lily is grown. We saved a little bit of time. This is still not as big as I was hoping it would be, but it's a pretty decent size overall. Now we're gonna go ahead and pick up our Mooncats. I really wish this Ember Lily was bigger than this, but I guess this is the size we're gonna go with. I think this is decent, but all right, we're gonna go ahead and use all of our spray mutations here. So let's do a chocolate spray on this thing. We're gonna save the Cloud Touch. We'll do pollinated. We'll do shocked, and we'll save the amber one. So we'll do one chilled, and that is 5 mutations, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow. So instead, we're going to use a honey sprinkler to get this honey glazed. And there we go. Now we have the 5 mutations that'll actually count. So we go ahead and spawn in our queen bee and a butterfly. Now, some people were asking me in the comments if the queen bee only cools down the butterfly, and no, the queen bee just cools down whatever pet has the longest cooldown currently. So since we only spawn in these two, the longest cooldown is always going to be the butterfly, so it saves us about 7 or 8 minutes in the end, so we can get this thing rainbow a little bit faster. And again, the butterfly does need 5 mutations, and gold does not count. So these are the 5 we have: shock, chocolate, honey glaze, pollinated, chilled, and that will convert those into rainbow. But anyways, now we gotta wait for these guys to do their thing, get this thing rainbow, so we can't really do much until then. So I'll see you guys in literally like 2 seconds when this is about to be rainbow. All right, it's time for the stuff to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to get this thing rainbow, and we say bye-bye to the gold mutation that we have. And just like that, our Ember Lily loses all these, but we get rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up now, and then we're going to go ahead and reapply all of our spray mutations. So we got pollinated, we got shocked. We also have amber, which people did tell me if you wait like 24 plus hours, you can get old amber. And then there's another variant of amber, but we don't have that kind of time. But I am going to spray amber on there. We have chocolate, and then we have chilled, and then we're also going to go ahead and put honey glazed on as well. And just like that, we're already up to 7 mutations on this thing. So we're going to convert that chilled to frozen by using a sea turtle. So there's our sea turtle. You good, bro? He's stuck inside the fence. I hope he's okay. And then we're also going to try to get all the pet mutations. So I'm going to spawn in a scarlet to get verdant. We're going to spawn in 2 chicken zombies to hopefully get this thing zombified. And we'll also spawn in 2 cooked owls. And finally, we'll spawn in 2 disco bees. So now we'll have a chance to get zombified, burnt, or cooked. Disco will get chilled to frozen once the sea turtle turns it wet. And then we can also get verdant on this, which would be good. So once we get a heat wave event, we can get paradisal on this Ember Lily. So far, we got a pretty good setup here. Now we just got to wait for these pets to do some stuff to give us these good mutations. And we got to wait for some events to happen. Hopefully, we'll get a windy event to spawn in again. And then hopefully we can get twisted, tropical rain, all that good stuff. You know what? I completely forgot one of our sprays. I forgot to put the Cloud Touch spray on this. There we go. So now we're actually up to 8 mutations. All right, our sea turtle just applied the wet mutation to our Ember Lily, so now it is officially frozen. We can go ahead and pick up our sea turtle, and I guess we'll go ahead and put another scarlet down so we can have double the chance to get verdant. So let's see what we get next. All right, hopefully this scarlet gives us the verdant mutation so we can get verdant before we get a heat wave. That way we can get paradisal, and I don't know if you can stack sun-dried with paradisal anymore. You used to be able to, but after this last update, I've noticed that you can't. All right, Scarlet, don't let me down. Let's get that verdant mutation done. Oh, let's go. He didn't let me down. I was like instant. All right, so now we have verdant. So we're set for a heat wave event. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up these scarlets. And then I guess because the chicken zombie usually takes the longest and the cooked owl, I'll go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl and another chicken zombie. And hopefully we get disco next. The disco bees are almost done with their cooldowns, and so are our original cooked owls. All right, let's see our luck with the cooked owls. Will we get burnt or cooked? We've never gotten cooked before, so that'd be cool to see. First cooked owl failed. What about the second one? All right, so just like that, we got zombified. Usually we get zombified last out of all of our pets, but this time we actually got it before we got disco or cooked / burnt. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 more cooked owl so we can have 4, and then we're gonna spawn in 2 extra disco bees so we can have 4 disco bees, and that will conclude all of the pet mutations. And then we just have to wait for some weather or any events to spawn in. But so far this thing is looking good with all of the pet mutations on it and some of the extra ones that we got from the sprays. Disco bee's going. Failed. What about the other disco bee? All right, other disco bees going. And apply. There we go. Disco mutation is now done. So we just need to get these cooked owls to give us either cooked or burnt. And then we just got to wait for events to happen. So I'm going to pick up all of our disco bees since they're good. We're going to max out on the cooked owls, which we only have 5 of them. And then I guess to help, we'll spawn in 2 queen bees to hopefully cool these guys down. Or maybe we'll stick with 1 queen bee, because if we have 2, it might cool down the other queen bee, since these cooked owls, their cooldown isn't that long. Oh, perfect. We got a windy event. So I'm going to go ahead and get my sprinklers ready to hopefully help with this. We're going to put a master sprinkler down. We're going to put a godly sprinkler down, and we're going to put an advanced sprinkler down. The basic doesn't really help with mutations, and hopefully that'll help us get windstruck. Come on. Oh, we just missed our chance. All right, our cooked owl finally applied the burnt mutation to our Ember Lily, which means we are officially done getting every pet mutation that we possibly can get. I guess besides Windstruck, since technically you can get that from the Pterodactyl. But anyways, this Ember Lily is looking pretty good. We just need to get some event mutations on this. So hopefully we can get Windy, Heat Wave, maybe some Tropical Rain, maybe some Aurora. Ooh, it's nighttime. This is good. We can get Moonlit, and we do have a Night Staff here. So hopefully we can get it to just channel us some Moonlit mutation real fast, real quick, real nice. There we go. We got Moonlit. Your Night Staff helped mutate a fruit. Thank you, Night Staff. Okay, I got excited for a second because I thought this was Tropical Rain, but it's regular rain, and we already have Frozen. However, if we had Sandy, I believe this would still help that Sandy turn into clay, and then we could get it ceramic. But because we don't have Sandy, this is kind of a pointless event to have. All right, we have another windy event, and we just got Windstruck like literally instantly from this one. So I guess it only takes like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windy events to get Windstruck. But so far, this thing total has 14 mutations on it. I'm hoping we can get a couple more on this. All right, so we literally have 14 mutations on our Ember Lily, and we have been sitting here AFK for 3 hours, and literally the only event that has happened is Windy and Moonlit. Like, our event luck today is horrendous. So we're gonna go ahead and check the value of the Ember Lily with all the mutations that we currently have on it. I wanted to get more of the event mutations, but the event mutations are really difficult right now without Brighter's help, and hopefully we can get blessed by Brighter again soon. But for now, we're gonna move forward and check the value of this with Steven. So without further ado, I will pick up this Ember Lily. And here is our beautiful Ember Lily with all of the mutations that we got on it, all 14. I wish we could have got this bigger. I wish we could have gotten more mutations, but we are going to see what the value of this is with the mutations that we did get. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to Steven here, and let's see how much this thing is worth. So Steven, what would you give us for this? 23 billion, and this thing again only has 14 mutations on it. That is a lot of money for this that doesn't have all of the normal mutations we get, like all of the admin mutations. So what do you guys think? Was this worth it for those 14 mutations? What do you think the value would have been if we actually got every single mutation today, including the admin mutations? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So they just released this 4th of July shop in Grow a Garden for the next 24 hours, where you could talk to Uncle Sam and grow a Liberty Lily or a firework flower. There's also some cool cosmetic stuff in here like fireworks. So in this video, we're going to be trying to get every single mutation on the new firework flower. Now, I do want to quickly apologize and say I'm sorry for not really uploading this week. There was actually an issue, and there's going to be a slight issue with these videos until I have more information. Currently, they're putting a pause on the content creator program, so Brighter is not allowed to help me at the moment with anything. He can't give me any seeds. He can't give me any spray mutations or pets that we might need for mutations. And he's also not allowed to give me the event spam that he normally does, which means these videos are going to be very hard because I can't really get all of the admin event mutations at the moment. So at least we have kind of an off seed for this video, which is the firework flower seed, which probably won't really be around for longer than tomorrow. So I'm going to do the video on this one so we can see the value of it with as many of the mutations as we can possibly get. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put a master sprinkler down, godly, advanced, basic. So let's get our mooncat set up here. All right, now we have our mooncat, so now we can actually get this firework flower pretty big. A lot of people were commenting that there's new sprays I can get for chilled, burnt and also cloud touch. I will buy some of them on my main account and help spray our plants. So I have my main account in here to do that in just a little bit. And the other thing is that I kept seeing is that people were telling me, and one of these comments actually blew up, but that I need to be getting the event mutations to hit like towards the root or like the branch of the fruit that I want to get mutated, which I kind of started to figure when I was saying, oh, I'm having hitbox issues. I'm having hitbox issues. So this comment really cleared that up. So thank you. And also cleared it up that, yeah, if you keep your sprinklers on, it should help get more mutations. So I'm going to be using that from now on. All right. So I don't know what the size of this can be. The mooncats are doing their thing, but this looks to be like it's already grown to its full potential. It just needs to grow the branches out. All right, so we'll just finish watering this real quick, get this to 100. It looks like it's a pretty decent size, so I think we should be good. All right, that should be about done. And then we're going to go ahead and use our shocked mutation spray, pollinated chocolate. We're going to go ahead and throw our sprinkler on it, the honey glaze sprinkler. So that's 4 mutations. And then instead of using the polar bears, I'm going to have my main account spray it with a burnt or chilled mutation spray. So I'm going to go over there real quick and buy those at the shop. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and set my queen bee up and my butterfly so I can get these guys ready to mutate this thing with rainbow with all 5 mutations in just a second. So I'm going to actually have my main account apply burnt onto this thing. So now we should have 5 mutations. Let's go ahead and check. Yep, there we go. We have pollinated, burnt, shocked, chocolate, and honey glaze. So once the queen bee is done with her cooldown, which is about 17.5 minutes left, it will cool down our butterfly, which will then get this to rainbow. And then I'll also use my main account after that to apply burnt and chilled back onto this. So we don't have to use the owls and we don't have to use the polar bears as well. All right, it looks like the waiting period is over. The queen bee's cooldown is finally completed. So now we can get our butterfly to get the cooldown. There we go. And now this firework flower should now turn into a rainbow firework flower. And we're good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly now because now we have this thing rainbow and it looks very nice. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and use our sprays again. So we got chocolate, we got pollinated, get shocked, and then let's go ahead and get that honey sprinkler on it. So now we are back up to 5 mutations. And then I'm going to go ahead and head over here in my main account, and we're going to put the chilled spray on it so we could save time with the polar bears today. And then we're also going to put the burnt spray back on it. And our main account is good to leave. So now we're up to 7 mutations on this thing. It's looking pretty good so far. So now we got to try and get the rest of the pet mutations that we possibly can get. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my pets here. So we're going to want to do 2 disco bees for now and get the disco mutation on this guy. Let's also go ahead and do a couple chicken zombies as well so we can try to get zombified. I'm also going to spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can try to get this thing wet so that it will turn frozen. And then for now, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a scarlet so we can get verdant, and then a hyacinth so we can get cloud touch since I can't get the cloud touch spray at the moment. Just to see if it helps, I'm going to go ahead and put down some sprinklers to see if it'll help our pet mutations. I don't know if the sprinklers help with pet mutations. I think they're only really helpful for event mutations, but we're going to try and do it anyways today and just see if we can get lucky with our pets if we have all these sprinklers on this. So I am just going to go ahead and click this garden button with an auto clicker while I go AFK, and hopefully when I'm gone we can see our pets get some mutations. All right, so it looks like when I was gone, we actually got chilled to frozen, which is some good progress. Looks like nothing else happened, but I can go ahead and pick up these sea turtles now. And our disco bee should be about ready for some stuff to happen there. So awesome. I think I'm going to go ahead and I will spawn in another chicken zombie for a chance to get zombified and another scarlet for a chance to get verdant on this thing. Oh, one's going off. Let's see it. Oh, let's go. We got disco to the firework flower. Good job. Easy and quick. I'm going to go ahead and pick up both of these guys. I'm going to spawn in some more chicken zombies since this one always seems difficult to get. So we have multiple chances for chicken zombies to get us zombified. And then I guess I'll spawn in another hyacinth to get us cloud touch. This is looking pretty good. For us having no help today, we're at least able to get a lot of these. Mostly just the pet ones. Oh, and look at that. We got Windy coming in as well. So perfect timing. so we can get another one down. And look at that, it actually worked. So, oh yeah, I guess we just got to start using sprinklers more often, and that should help with getting these mutations faster. So thank you guys for letting me know. I'm a little stupid. Oh, let's go. We just got Cloud Touch applied to this thing. So we got another mutation down, which means we could pick up our little bluebirds here. And I guess we can go ahead and put down another Scarlet and another chicken zombie. And those are all maxed out now. That's as many as we have for each, 4 and 4. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK again for a little bit here. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some more sprinklers just in case an event or something happens. Oh, we just took a W. The Scarlet just applied Verdant to our firework flower. So now we have Verdant. So all we need to do is get a heat wave in here so we can get sun-dried and then turn that Verdant into a Paradisal. Now it'll be 2 new mutations. Well, I guess one will go away and then we'll get another mutation. So it'll be 1 new one, but this one will convert to something better. So now in the meantime, we could pick up the Scarlets because we don't need them anymore. And I guess because I think we're maxed out on chicken zombies, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee or 2 just to help with our chicken zombie cooldowns. So far, without any help today, this thing does have 11 mutations, which is pretty good. We've been given another opportunity to get twisted. Maybe one of these things will spawn in and like go right on our firework flower. That'd be really nice. This one's getting close, but he's gonna leave, I think, in a second. Are you gonna leave? Oh, this one's right here. Yo, come on. Where's my trowel? Where's my trowel? Oh, he's going on it. He's going on it. We're good. Okay. 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 I can't place it there, apparently. Come on. Come on. Oh, there's 2 of them in my garden right now. Put it right here. Put it right here. Come on. Come on. Give me that. Give me that twisted. Was that good enough? Let's go. We got twisted legit. All right. We're good. All right. This thing is looking pretty spicy so far. Now, let's see if the chicken zombie will clutch up for us to get us zombified on our firework flower. Please, chicken zombie. I beg of you. Come on. Failed. All the chicken zombies are failing. Okay, I was literally just looking at my phone for a second, and then I heard the bong sound, and my chicken zombie actually just applied zombified to the firework flower. I wish I got it on footage, but anyways, we're done with all the pet mutations, so we have about 30 more minutes that we're gonna wait around for any events to happen, but if not, we're at least at 13 mutations, which is pretty good. But I really, really hope that we can maybe get a drought and a heat wave event to happen within the next 30 minutes before I stop recording. So that way we can get Paradisal on this, we get sun-dried on this, and then we can get drought. And that'd be pretty good. And also, it'd be awesome if we can get tropical rain. But I doubt that many events is going to happen in the next 30 minutes. All right, so unfortunately, I have sat here for like 40 minutes and no other events happen. We're still where we were, and I got to get this video out to you guys because it's been a couple days. I really wish I could have at least gotten the normal event mutations like Celestial, Drenched, Drought, and then Sun-Dried plus Paradisal, so that way we can really see a good value for this thing. But we did get 13 mutations on this firework flower legit, which is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up, and unfortunately we're not gonna have Brighter be able to help us today to get all the mutations added onto it like we normally would. So we'll have to see what the value of this is with those mutations that we were able to get on it. Without further ado though, we're going to see what this is worth with 13 mutations on it in a pretty big size. So let's go ahead and talk to Steven and let's get the value of this big thing. All right, Steven, how much is this firework flower? Okay, wow, I'm actually very surprised. This thing is still 2 billion with those 13 mutations that we got on it without any of those extra mutations added onto it today. So that's actually pretty good. For only doing this for about maybe 2 hours, we got a fruit that is worth 2 billion, which is quite a good bit of money, especially for a new player. Definitely try and buy these firework flowers while they're in stock. They're completely filled up to max stock right now, so all you got to do is just go in the shop and buy them. Hopefully we'll be back to our normal scheduled programming of actually getting all the mutations on these fruits. So let me know what you guys think the value would be if we were able to get every mutation on it, since, you know, only 13 got a 2 bill. And let me know if you guys are excited for this small little 4th of July update. We have a brand new seed in Roblox Grow a Garden, which is going to be a good one, and it is the King Cabbage. This just released in the part 2 of the cooking update, along with this new lobster pet, which can actually apply Molten and Meteoric, which are usually only admin event mutations, but now you can get them if you have one of these lobsters. So in this video, we're going to be attempting to get every single mutation on the new King Cabbage, and hopefully this thing is worth a lot and we get some good money out of it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 of these mooncats here that I have. All right, we have 7 mooncats. There's also new like pet loadout slots. So if I want, I could have like 1 for mooncats, 1 for my queen bee and butterfly. Since I tend to swap out pets a lot, it's easier for me to just keep doing it the way I normally do it. So that's how we're gonna do it today. All right, but anyways, now that we have all of these guys spawned in, we're gonna spawn in one of our triceratopses here. And now we're gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down. So let's put our Grandmaster sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and we'll put our king cabbage right in there. All right, our mooncats are on it, which is good. The sprinklers are doing stuff. So while we wait for this to grow, I must let you guys know, I actually have a new channel that I started with a team called Bandite's Movies. Now, this channel will include some old content mixed into long form videos of over an hour long, and I'll also have some new videos on there that you guys may have not seen before. So if you guys want to check that channel out, the link will be in the description, or you could just search up Bandite's Movies and you should find it. We already have some videos uploaded on there. All right, so here is our king cabbage growing in. It looks pretty big. I don't know if this is going to be a multi-harvest. Let me make sure this is a multi-harvest fruit or not. Okay, this is a multi-harvest fruit. So whatever we get here, this will just be the plant, and then we get the fruits on it, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and watering can it a little bit so we can get this thing to sprout up a little bit. So then our triceratops here doesn't have to work as hard, and then he can focus more on just growing the fruits themselves. But looks like we're gonna have a pretty big one because look at all of our mooncats just surrounding this thing. This thing is definitely going to be huge. So let's see how much progress our triceratops actually makes on our king cabbage. So it's at 21%. Let's see what he gets it to. Okay, we got a double. So now it is up to... It's still going. It's still going. 88%. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Thanks, my guy. Oh, dude, we got a heat wave right now. I wish this was a little bit later when this thing actually had some fruits grown on it, but I guess this will be one free mutation done, so we don't have to use as many mutations when trying to get it to rainbow. All right, to help speed this up a little bit, I'm going to use my main account here to use its watering cans to get our king cabbage to fully grow in. So let's just get this thing to 100%. Whoa, it's moving. It's moving. That is scary. It's moving. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and use one of these medium pet toys on our triceratops to speed up his cooldown a little bit. And that should also help us get another double hit so we can see how big this king cabbage will actually be. This thing is actually crazy cool looking. This is probably one of the coolest looking plants in this game. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this thing moves around and it looks like you're opening up a portal or something, that's pretty cool. Oh, I think we got our king cabbage here. It's literally gonna take up the entire plant. I'm not even gonna be able to see the plant anymore. That is a big one. All right, well, let's see how much progress our triceratops makes on it. All right, our triceratops is about to hit it. Maybe it'll get another double hit so we can see how much progress this makes. Let's see. 33 minutes. That was it? That was it? That didn't even make a dent in this thing. What the heck? All right, well, since that 33 minutes literally didn't do anything, I'm going to actually go ahead and use the grow all button here on my main account because I think we're going to be here for hours if we don't do this because this is such a big king cabbage. Oh my gosh, dude. This thing is humongous. It looks like a giant egg. All right, I'm going to really quick favorite it so I don't accidentally pick it up. We're going to go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. We're going to spawn in a queen bee to get her cooldown started with a butterfly here to get this cooldown started as well. So the queen bee will cool down the butterfly and the butterfly will convert all the mutations we're about to apply to this thing and convert it to rainbow. And then over here on my main account, we're also going to spawn in a queen bee over there and also spawn in our kitsune. So that way, whenever we get rainbow on this thing, we can apply chakra to it right away. Let's go ahead and apply some spray so we can actually get this thing converted to rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and use a pollinated spray, shocked, chocolate. We will use honey glazed, and then I'll have my main account just apply a windstruck on it so we have a free extra mutation since we don't really need the windstruck spray since we have a pterodactyl. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here now, and our butterfly will convert all of these to rainbow, and then we can get started and actually apply other mutations to this so we can get the king cabbage to have every single mutation in the game. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK and let our pets do the work to get this thing rainbow, and then we'll come back and start applying some mutations to it. All right, our queen bee just cooled down our butterfly, and now our butterfly just applied the rainbow mutation to our king cabbage. So now our king cabbage is officially rainbow. So we can pick up these 2 pets, and then we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go ahead and apply some of our mutations back onto it now. So we're gonna put our pollinated back onto it, sprayed, burnt, chocolate, fried, and honey glazed. And then over here in our main account, we're going to apply wet onto it so that way this thing can easily get bloodlet from our kappas, or hopefully easily get it. We're going to apply cloud touched, and we're going to apply verdant, And then in a little bit, our Kitsune from our main account should come over and then apply chakra to this thing. So far, that brings us up to 10 mutations on our king cabbage. So it's looking pretty good. And now we can start using some of our other pets to add some other mutations to this. So I'm going to go ahead and start spawning some pets in. So let's go ahead and start off by using 2 disco bees here so we can get disco done and out of the way. We'll go ahead and do 2 chicken zombies since this one usually takes a while. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and skip out on the cooked owl since we already have burnt and fried on this thing. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in a corrupted scarlet and a tranquil scarlet. Since those guys have those mutations on them, we'll be able to get corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage. And then since the spaghetti sloth actually takes quite a bit of time, I'm going to spawn him in now since he has 3 mutations he has to go through. And we do have the new aromatic mutation on him. So this guy has about 4 mutations we'll be able to get from him. So I'm going to spawn him in now to start making progress on all of those. And then finally, for right now, we're going to spawn in our Raiju. That way, this guy can work to apply the static mutation onto our king cabbage. And to do that, we're going to spawn in the Raiju. We're going to go ahead and put a carrot seed down. And then we're going to apply the shocked mutation to our carrot. And then our Raiju will come over here, eat the shocked carrot, and then apply static to our king cabbage for that extra mutations. So yeah, we have quite a lot of work to do today. We have a lot of mutations to get through. So these guys will be our starting mutations, and then we'll get some more mutations shortly. And hopefully we'll be able to get a sandstorm, aurora, and also maybe a celestial. All right, so our Kitsune is on the way over here to apply chakra to our king cabbage. There we go. We have the chakra mutation now onto our king cabbage. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. He's going to go bring it over to my main account now. So let's see. All right, we just got regular chakra. We did not get foxfire chakra, which is fine. All right, so we just got static applied to our king cabbage here. So we have another mutation done and out of the way. So we're good there. We do have wet applied to this, by the way. So next up, we're going to go ahead and pick up our Raiju. Oh, disco bee time. Hold on. Okay, failed. Anyways, we're going to pick up our Raiju here, and then we're going to replace him with a Kappa for now, so we can try and get Bloodlet done and out of the way before it is too late and we get this thing frozen by like a frost event or something. We do need the wet mutation to stay on this so we can convert wet to Bloodlet. I believe if this does get drenched, that can be converted as well, but once it's frozen, it's over. All right, here goes our first mutation from the spaghetti sloth. Let's see which one we get. All right, we got sauce done. So now we just need pasta and meatballs, but thank you, spaghetti sloth, for your service. I gave one of my chicken zombies here a toy to boost his cooldown, and instantly when I did that, his cooldown finished, and then he applied zombified. So that is another mutation done and out of the way for our king cabbage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here, and we're gonna replace those guys with these new lobster pets, because these guys actually have a chance to apply Molten every 15 minutes and then apply Meteoric every 30 minutes. So yeah, that's a pretty long cooldown. It is going to take quite a long time to maybe get Meteoric, but we're going to let them sit here and try to get us Meteoric, and Molten should be a pretty quick one though. But that'll be 2 new mutations we can get on our fruits like we used to be able to do when Brighter helped us with these videos. All right, perfect. We got disco applied finally to our king cabbage. So now we can go ahead and just pick up these 2 guys. So our disco bees are done and out of the way. And next we're going to go ahead and spawn in a corrupted Kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra and then turn that into harmonized chakra. And then I'm also going to spawn in a pterodactyl here, so we can attempt to get tempestuous done and added onto this. I'm going to go ahead and plant down 3 carrot seeds as well. If our pets apply mutations to these, that's fine. Either way, our Spinosaurus will eventually eat the carrots and move this over. Our first lobster, by the way, just failed with Molten, and our second one did. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and apply, I guess, I'll put down 3 carrots here, so we have more opportunity to get Tempestuous out of the way, and then we'll have the Spinosaurus eat it and move it over to our king cabbage. All right, I'm going to attempt to give my pterodactyl in here a toy, and also I'm going to give this lobster one. There we go, I got him. That way we could try to get tempestuous a little bit faster. Let's see. Oh, okay, so he did apply Windstruck and Twisted to one of our carrots, and this is the one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up and pick this one up, and then tempestuous is done. I don't think he applied it directly to our king cabbage. No, we just got Windstruck, but that's fine. What we're going to go ahead and do now is pick up our pterodactyl here, and then we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eat the carrots, tempestuous mutation, and then move it over to our king cabbage, so we have that one done. Let's see if these guys will give us Molten and Meteoric. I don't know if they'll give us both, but we have 2 chances for both right now. Okay, failed Meteoric. What about our other friend here? He failed Molten, and And we got molten. All right, so we at least got one of them done. We got molten added to our king cabbage, but they did fail meteoric, which was kind of expected. Let's see what our spaghetti sloth does. Hopefully he actually applies a mutation this time and doesn't bug out. There we go. We got meatball added to the king cabbage. So we just need that pasta mutation, and then this will turn into spaghetti. Hopefully we'll be able to get meteoric done soon. I will spawn in some queen bee shortly once our spaghetti sloth gives us all of his mutations. All right, I just gave our spaghetti sloth the toy, and he instantly gave us the aromatic mutation from his mutated pet effect. So now we do have aromatic added on to our king cabbage for another mutation done, which is perfect. So once the spaghetti sloth here is done with his next cooldown, he should apply pasta, and then we'll have this thing to have full spaghetti on it, which will be fantastic. All right, we have some good and bad news. The bad news is actually that this frost event spawned in, and yes, this will get us frozen because we do have wet applied, but we don't want to get frozen because we're still waiting for our Kappa to try and apply bloodlet, although it's a very rare chance for him to. But the good news is that our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his final mutation, or hopefully he doesn't skimp out and just not give it to us. So our spaghetti sloth is doing his thing. Let's see if we get pasta. Hopefully we do. Okay, interesting. He applied it to the carrot, which is actually fine. I'm going to go ahead and just pick him up then. And we're going to spawn in another Spinosaurus here. And that way they'll just eventually eat that off of this carrot and then move it over to our king cabbage. Oh, and look at that. We're getting acid rain as well. I almost forgot that acidic was a mutation that you can get as well. So this might be a good one. We can get this added onto our king cabbage. All right, let's see. Did we get acidic added onto this? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. What about this over here? Nope. All right, well, at least we got to experience the acid rain, but we did not get the acid rain. Okay, well, we've been trying to have our Kappa apply bloodlet, and we have had no luck because, as you can see, it is not on here, but that wet mutation that we had just got turned to frozen from this frost event, so our Kappa ran out of time, and he's kind of useless now. So we're going to go ahead and pick him up, get him out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next pet here, which is the new junk bot from the Albert Stuff admin event. So the junk bot will actually have a chance to apply the oil mutation onto your plants. So we're going to let him attempt to apply the oil mutation next. All right, just like I expected, we have a nighttime event, which means we don't have to actually use our Tanukis today because this should give us pretty much instant moonlit mutation on our king cabbage here. So let's just wait a second. Yep, there we go. Our king cabbage is now officially moonlit, which is another mutation done. All right, so I'm going to feed some toys to my pets here. So we got a toy in our corrupted kitsune, hopefully get corrupted chakra. I'm going to feed some to my Spinosauruses so they eat from this and move over pasta and tempestuous, hopefully. Let's see. Yep, perfect. We just got pasta and tempestuous, the exact ones we needed. So we can go ahead and pick up this carrot, and then we can go ahead and get rid of these Spinosauruses for now. I guess in the meantime, then, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee to finally help us get some faster cooldowns on all of our pets here. We'll spawn in one of these hot dog dash hounds here, and these guys will actually help with cooldowns as well with the queen bee. All right, we just got a double trouble mutation set done to our king cabbage. Both of our scarlets finally just applied corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage, so those are both done and out of the way finally. That took a couple hours there, but we can go ahead and pick both of these guys up now. So now it's pretty much just up to the junk bot to apply oil and these lobsters to apply meteoric, and our corrupt kitsune to apply corrupt chakra onto this thing so we can have harmonized chakra. But they did make some good progress. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is spawn in another hot dog dash hound here to help with cooldowns, and then I guess we'll spawn in one peacock as well. All right, we got some good news here. We got a heat wave event, but I guess this is also bad news because I literally can't get to the plant itself to put more tanning mirrors down inside of it. So hopefully it will hit still. I don't know. I guess we'll try and get as close as we can. Oh, okay, it just hit. We're good. We got it. Our king cabbage is now paradisal, which is a much better multiplier than just verdant itself. Okay, as you saw there for just a second, this carrot is actually lit up, and it is finally corrupt chakra. Dude, we've been waiting for these mutations for such a long time. It's been hours, and we finally just got corrupt chakra. We have not gotten meteoric or oil yet, dude. We're still waiting for these. It is taking forever. But since we did get corrupt chakra, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these carrots. I had them laid out, so we had more chances for corrupt chakra since it was taking forever. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eventually eat this corrupt chakra and then move that over to our king cabbage for that mutation to be added on there so we can get harmonized chakra. All right. So hopefully our Spinosaurus only eats the corrupt chakra from this carrot. I didn't realize we got pollinated from our queen bee. I've only had the queen bee out for cooldowns, but here we go. Please just eat the corrupt chakra. I've been waiting hours to get that one. And he ate the pollinated and he just put it right back onto the carrot. What is going on, dude? What is wrong with the pets today? I don't understand. Yo, we finally got meteoric added to the king cabbage, which took a very, very long time. So I actually thought that we maxed out on stackable mutations, because looking at the wiki, it says you can have up to 24 stackable mutations. I thought this thing was completely maxed out to the point we couldn't get any more mutations on it, but now I'm not very sure because we just got meteoric from our lobster added on to our king cabbage. Okay, he just did the same thing and reapplied pollinated again. Okay. I guess instead of the Spinosaurus, we might as well try the T-Rex, because our T-Rex will eat them and then spread them no matter what to multiple plants. I guess we can actually do like 2 T-Rexes and then maybe like 2 Spinosauruses just to guarantee that we can get corrupt chakra moved over. All right, our T-Rexes are about done with their cooldowns here. If they can't move this corrupt chakra over to our king cabbage, then I've kind of given up hope that we are able to get any more mutations on this thing at this point, because why is nothing going on to it anymore? So let's see if they actually eat and apply. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra moved over finally, so this is good. We have harmonized chakra, so that is good. These guys are done with their business here, so I actually can just go ahead and pick up all of these because that's all we needed. All right, and that is pretty good. Now, we pretty much just have to get oil done and added, but this junk bot has literally failed like 30 times in the last however many hours I've been at this. I've been at this for almost 5 hours, dude. I give up on the oil, dude. My head is killing me, and I just can't keep going on listening to him say, grow a garden 5 million times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick him up. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 raptors to attempt to get the amber mutation. These guys have been aging quite nicely. They have a better chance now to get us amber. Not the best, but much better than they were at. And let's go ahead and take a look at our king cabbage here. So this thing is up to 22 mutations, but if we separate some of these, like tempestuous would have 23 mutations, spaghetti would make us at 25 mutations, paradisal would be 26 mutations, and then harmonized chakra would be at 27 mutations. So if we're able to get amber, would be at 28 mutations, and if we actually did get oil and some of those other mutations like aurora, sandy into ceramic, and celestial, we would be way past 30 mutations, and this thing would be worth even more. But this is a good stopping point, so we're gonna pick this up. Let's see if we get amber. Okay, we did not get amber. That's unfortunate, but we do have this gigantic king cabbage here, so I can only imagine this thing will be worth a lot of money. Hopefully we can get over 1 trillion, but I guess we'll see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see the value of this thing with Steven, and hopefully we get some good money for it. So Steven, what would you give us for this big king cabbage today? All right, so this thing is worth 197 billion. I honestly expected a lot more than that just because of how many mutations we got on it and because of the size of this thing. But honestly, that's not bad. But for this many mutations, I feel like that should be buffed a little bit. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this a good value for this big of a king cabbage with this many mutations, or should it be buffed and be worth more? Also, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next video.